That title isn't clickbait. This is what happened to me this week, and we're going to talk about it on the other side of the break. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy. And yes, this did happen to me this week, and we're going to talk about it in a minute. But before I begin, I just want to let you guys know, those of you who've never watched my channel before, I'm a full-time reseller, mostly on eBay, and I make these videos to help other resellers succeed through my mistakes, or we learn together. But I sort of report the things that I deal with sometimes on a daily basis, and I kind of let you decide what you think about my experience, and hopefully you comment down below in this video. Do me a favor though, please hit that like button if you like this type of content and appreciate the time that I put in the video. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I certainly would appreciate it. So yes, I dealt with a USPS postal employee. I never got the guy's name, have no idea what his name was, but here's what happened. I went to the UPS store, not USPS, not the post office, but the UPS store. I actually had planned on making a UPS run. I had like 6 pretty good sized packages that I had to drop off. And I had a tub of like first class priority USPS items that I had to go in and take to my local post office, which isn't so local. What happened was the carrier that came was a replacement carrier, and they came early. They came like at 10:30 in the morning. And I have it set up with my eBay account to have 12 o'clock p.m. or anything bought before 12 o'clock p.m. I have to actually ship same day. It's just the way my account's set up. So I had some sales afterwards. And of course, this guy comes at 10:30 in the morning. I'm still doing my shipping. Usually I do it from the night before, but I have some residual orders that went through overnight. And so all those factors combined, I had to take a tub of, or one of those USPS totes full of packages. So it's kind of a strange thing that I even had to do this in the first place. But I load everything up in the car. I drive to the UPS store, which is like maybe a block away from where I live. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, there's a large USPS truck parked in front of the UPS store. So instead of driving like 4 or 5 miles to my closest post office, so the first thing I did was I parked, grabbed my tote, USPS tote, and I walked up to the truck. There was a USPS employee sort of loading packages in the back of the truck, and he had that blue cart that they bring in from the UPS store. I guess UPS store, they have people put their USPS packages on that cart, and then when that USPS postal employee comes, they just load it under their truck. So I walk around to the back, and I said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "Could you do me a favor and take these for me?" He stopped what he was doing. He looked at me with just the nastiest scowl you can ever imagine anyone having. And he like looked at my packages for a second, and then he just snatched the tote out of my hand. So I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. So I just asked a clarifying question, was still polite, even though I was sort of offended by how he was sort of interacting with me. Now, mind you, he never said a word to me up to this point. And so I asked him, I said, "Will these be scanned sometime by tonight?" That's all I asked him. He turned and he looked at me and he said, "That's not my job." I said, "Well," I said, "all I just got to make sure is that these get scanned before midnight. That's all. That's why I'm asking you." And he looked at me again and said, "That's not my job." I said, "You know what?" I said, "Please give me my packages back." And he said, "I told you they'd scan them. It's not my job." I said, "You know what? I don't appreciate your attitude, your unwillingness to help, And frankly, I don't appreciate how you're treating me. I just want my packages back. I'll take them myself. So he hands me back the tub. I walk back to my car to grab my UPS packages, and I'm no more than 5 steps away from this truck, and he says, "That MF, this happens every day." And he didn't say my friend, by the way. MF is not my friend. This is a PG show, so I can't tell you what he actually said, but I'll let you figure that part out, okay? So I'm like, no, he didn't. So I get to my car, put the tote in, grab the 2 of the UPS packages, and I walk back, and I walked to him, and I said, "You know what? I heard what you said, and I don't appreciate it at all. I think you're out of line for saying what you said, and I want your name," okay? And he didn't say a word to me. I said, "I want your name." And then he turned to me and said, "Well, what's your name?" I said, "I'm John. I didn't do anything wrong here." And he just went back to what he was doing, and he wouldn't give me his name. So I walked inside, and I'm like, oh my God. So I dropped my packages off, went back to my car. Mind you, I still have 4 packages, pretty good sized packages. So walking back, and I said, "You know what? You're out of line for what you're doing. And you know what? You may not want to give me your name, and I can understand why you're not giving me your name, because you know you're wrong here. But it's out of line for you to treat any customer like that, let alone someone who's just trying to get some help. So I didn't do anything wrong to you, but yet you had the attitude at me, and I don't appreciate at all the fact that you cursed me and you were rude to me and just didn't want to help me at all." And then he said, "F you." And there's a lady that was coming into the UPS store that I was opening a door for when he said that. And I just kind of laughed. I said, "Did you hear that?" And I went inside, and the UPS people kind of heard what was going on outside. And they said, "You know what? He's like that all the time. If we knew that you're out there," because I go in there all the time. "If we knew you're out there dealing with this guy, we would have went outside and kind of just said, hey, just let it go." But I said, "You know what? This guy can't be treating people like this." And they're like, "Yeah, we know. It happens a lot." I said, "Well, it shouldn't happen at all, to be honest with you." So I went back, got my packages. I wasn't trying to say nothing to the guy. Just said, "Just get out of here." Got my other 2 packages, went back to the door, and as I was going inside the door, okay, he was trying to bring his empty blue cart inside the UPS store. So, you know what? I opened the door for him, take the high road, right? I opened the door for him so he can get his blue cart in. And he says to me, "I don't need your damn help." And so he proceeds to close the door, and then he waits like a second, and then he opens it back up again so he can get his cart inside the store. So I'm at the counter dealing with the person. He's quick to get his cart inside. And so I'm walking out, and I'm like, you know what? I can't believe this. This guy's acting like a child, really unprofessional. So I'm walking out. I fire up my phone because I want to get the license plate. I know he's about to leave. I fire up my phone on video, and I'm trying to video the license plate. And, this is a big USPS truck with a lift gate. I don't know where that license plate was, but it wasn't in the back. So I whip around the other side of the truck with the video going, and I said, "This is the guy who cursed at me." And I'll show you a clip of the video here, just slightly of the video of what I took, because I wanted to be able to identify the guy. He was rude, unprofessional, and he totally was out of line in the way he acted. So I wanted to report this guy, and I got a close-up of his face. And I turned the recording off, and I was going to my car. And out his little window, he yells, "You effing F." It was a homophobic slur, and I will allow you to figure that out on your own. So I was like, you know what? Definitely going to follow through with this. And I went about my business because I knew I had to make a trip to the post office, but I also had to meet biscuit butt down at a couple resellers we were going to go check out, local resellers. And we did that. And on the way back, I stopped and I made a point to file a written complaint about this driver. So hopefully something comes about this. I did get a phone call from someone at USPS, and don't know if it was a union rep, because these are unionized employees. And look, had the guy said, look, I'm having a bad day, I apologize for what I said, it wasn't directed at you, whatever, I would have said, you know what, that's fine. I still would have been disappointed that he wasn't able to help, because most of these carriers, they can scan the package, and they can at least say, look, I can't scan it right now, I don't have the ability to do that, however, I can still take this to the facility and they'll scan it tonight. That would have been fine. I don't know why it was such an issue for him to even take the packages, let alone treat me the way that he did. So let me know what you think. Comment down below. You know, here's the thing. I support my USPS employees. You know, if you're a USPS employee watching this, you know what? You guys do a good job. In my opinion, rain, shine, whatever the weather is, you guys have some logistical issues that really need to be fixed that we all experienced as sellers back in December that continued for a little while. I don't think it's such a problem right now, but you know, for some of you it might be. But it's not the employee's fault. You know, my last carrier, she was awesome, you know, and I'm sad that she bid out onto another route, because, you know, she out of the blue brought us like baked goods one day, you know, and we're like, wow, you know, we weren't expecting this, you know, and so we retaliated with our own baked goods that she enjoyed. We, you know, found a brand new USPS mask that we gave her, and a couple other things that we gave her as well, and just some little trinkets and stuff, you know, just things that we knew she would appreciate, and certainly she put to use, and we enjoyed that relationship. In fact, it was to the point where she even gave my wife her cell phone number and said, hey, look, you know, if you don't see me by a certain time, text me and I'll let you know if I'm coming or not. And that's pretty awesome. And, you know, sometimes she'll come at like 11:30 and she's like, you know what, you're not ready yet, I'll come back. That's the kind of relationship you want with USPS employees. So she bit off the route, and we had some temporary people coming to the door every day. And finally, the new carrier came to the door about 3 weeks ago, and she knocked on the door, rang the doorbell. I'm sitting right by the front door where my desk is. I get up immediately. She's almost back to her truck. She didn't even wait for me to answer the door. So she was like out. She knew she had to pick up packages. She didn't want any part of it, okay? And so I opened the door, and she was very standoffish. And I was extra nice to her, because when you're dealing with your full-time carrier, you want to build that rapport. So I've been working hard over the last 3 weeks to really try to build that rapport. She's starting to come around. She brought some totes, this, that, and the other thing. Really thinking that, you know, I'm probably going to need to go out and get like a Starbucks card, you know, thank her for her efforts, that kind of thing, because it is so important to build that relationship with your carrier. Because, you know, I'm not asking for her cell phone number. I'm not asking for the same type of interaction that we had with our last carrier. I just want to make sure that she is going to do what I need her to do, and that's simply pick up the packages and make sure that they are scanned. And that's all I'm asking for. So how is your relationship with your mail carrier? Put that information down below. I want to hear about it. Do you have a bad relationship with your USPS mail carrier? Or do you have a good one like I used to have with my former carrier? Also, what do you think about my situation at the UPS store? Maybe I should have let it go, but you know what? That guy was way out of line. Let me know what you think about this video, guys. So as far as this weekend is concerned, it looks like Sunday I'm gonna try to do a live stream, just working out the logistics on that. Hopefully you guys can make it, probably sometime in the late afternoon, that type of thing, but I will post it. It will be shown as a sort of a premiere kind of thing. About an 80% chance that's gonna happen. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, hit that notification bell so you can be notified. Like the video, guys. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Our channel's growing, and it's all because of you guys hitting that subscribe button. Thank you for doing that. I certainly appreciate it. So regardless of your relationship with your mail carrier, you guys always remember that flipping ain't easy, and we're going to see you here very soon.